Hello everyone, welcome to the course of Mastering Core Java, and today in our lesson number 7 we are going to learn about generics. We will see what generics actually is. We will also see what are bounded generics and how we can use generics as an argument type, and also we will see what are the legacy and row type. Okay, so first let's understand what generics is. Generics means it gives a general overview. That means a general purpose code for any class type. Okay, and also the main purpose of using generics is that it gives a type safety. That means, for example, you have a code and in that code you are creating an object or expecting some object. Okay, but you don't want to specify the class while writing the code of that specific method, let's say. All right, now, how you can achieve that? You can achieve it in two ways. One, you can use the object class. Okay, object class is the super class of all classes, right? So of course you can use the object class, but then it does not provide you the type safety that comes with generics, and that's why Java introduced the concept of generics. Okay, so let's see how generics actually work with a practical example. So here you can see I have a class named Gen, right? Now what I can do, I can write something like ob, right? All right, and then I can have a constructor, and inside this I can expect some object. I can assign the value to the object, correct? But as I said before, this does not provide the type safety. Okay, so instead of using object, let's write with the arrow bracket, and inside that we'll write something like t. Okay, now I will say that this object will be of type t, okay, which we specified here. Now t does not represent any specific class, right? It just means that it will be a generic type and it can represent any class, and we can declare, okay, while declare it in any other class, where, like, for example, in here, okay, in here when I write gen, I can write something like the class, that the class of object it will be accepting is gen. Okay, so I can write something like integer and then close it. All right, so this is how your generic type will work. Now, as I specified when I'm instantiating the object, that the generic type it accepts is integer. Now this t will act like a integer. Okay, in this case for the object gen it will act like integer. Okay, now let me just copy it and I will say this is gen2. All right, and here it will take a string. Okay, it will take a string. So now this t will start acting like a string. Okay, so that is how your generic works. Now let's quickly write down the code for this. For example, now it will take ob, this dot ob, okay, object equals to object, right? Simple code. And then what we'll do, we will get the object back. Also, this also we can specify with a simple t, get object, and then here we will, what we'll do, we will, of course we can easily return using the t, okay, using the ob object. Okay, now next, all right, we can write some code like show object type. Okay, just to display our object type we can write something like this, right? System out, okay, it will be ob dot get class dot get, I think we can say the name, right? All right, so now here it is expecting an object. Okay, so I can pass something like 88. All right, here I can pass something like display. All right, and this is how we can actually pass our integer and we can pass our string also. Now if I type something like gen1 dot show type, okay, and then gen2 dot show object type, and I simply run this, I should be able to get what the type of the class is. Okay, so for the first gen 1 is giving integer, and the second we are getting string, whereas the code stays the same. Okay, so that is what your generics is a general model of a algorithm that you write, general model of a instruction set that you write irrespective of the class type of object. Okay, so that is how your generics work. Another thing that the generic supports is that you can have multiple objects also. For example, I can write v. Okay, I can write v like this, and then I can specify like object 1. Look, okay, let's not change this, let it be, and then I will write something like v or v2, and the same thing will apply here. Okay, so I will not write dwell that much into it. I hope you can understand from here. When I write t and v, so v will act like the same way the t will act. Okay, here now I can say like this will take string. Okay, for example, and then I will pass something like main. Okay, just for example, and here also we can declare something else. Okay, but hope you understood the general gist of this, how we can give two different method, like sorry, two different class types. Okay, so here also you need to specify. Okay, let's comment this out for now. All right, so this is how your multiple argument in generic will also work. Okay, now our second topic is bounded generics. So bounded generic means you want to narrow down the type of class that it can accept. So that is basically your bounded generics. Now let's remove this for now. Okay, let's just remove this part, and we can do something like, all right, let's revert this part also back. Now what I am going to do, I am going to say that t extends number. Okay, so number is the superclass of any other number class. Okay, for example, integer, double, float, like that. Okay, so now here this will work fine. Okay, this will work as before, but let's say I want to change it now. I want to say, okay, let it be, I want to pass the string. Okay, I commented this out, uncommented this. Now you can see now I'm passing the string, but immediately is throwing error. And why is that? That's simply because I specified that the t will extend number only. So you obviously you know that string is not a subclass of number. So now I have bounded the type of generic that it can accept, and it is that it will accept only a number subclass. So number subclass can be integer, and I can also write something like double. That will also be fine, right? Double. Here if I write double, okay, so that will also work fine. So the next topic is, let's see how we can declare, we can use generic as an argument. Okay, here let's say I want to pass the same class, same gen class. Okay, and inside I'll put t for now, and then I will say it will take some gen. Okay, right? So this is correct only, and let me just copy it from here, just copy it from here and then paste it, and we'll make it gen. Okay, all right. Now notice one thing, I can write it extends t. Okay, and then change it from this to this. So in this way what I am specifying is any class. Okay, in this argument the gen can only accept any class type which extends from t. Okay, t extends from number, and this question mark will extend from t. Okay, right now we don't have any class that extends from integer, of course, right? All right, so but there is one thing we can do, we can write something like super also. Okay, extends and super both. Okay, so what this means is that it will take any class, okay, which is a super class of integer. All right, so that means when I say something like gen1 dot display, I can actually pass something like new, okay, gen, new gen, then I can pass something like number. All right, okay, so that should work fine only. So just need to pass something like 1 or some random number. Okay, so here you can see I am able to pass number. So right now the gen1 object that I created has a double, okay, double. And here what I specified that the argument that it will accept will be a superclass of t, okay, superclass of t. So of course number is a superclass of double, okay. So that is how you can take argument from argument in the method. All right, so one thing is of course to 1 minute. So one thing is of course to directly take the generic type, okay, that is how the generic type works. But let's say you want to take another class which has a generic type object inside it, so you can write, of course you can write t, all right, and then you can use some boundation also, okay, you can use boundation like super, or you can use extends as well. So that is how your argument in a method can also work. So there are many other way you can use generics, okay, like for example you can have a method which takes a generic type, not the class, okay. Here we started from the class, but there are method where the method only will take argument as a generic type but not the class itself, okay. So likewise there are many other topic in generic. So that the course does not become too long, I'm not going to cover that much depth into it. But if you want me to cover, then do comment down below so that I can take your feedback and make more lessons on generic if required, okay. So the next topic is raw type, right? So raw type is nothing but, let's say I say gen2 equals to new gen2, okay. So here I'm not specifying anything, all right, I'm not specifying anything, but I will write something like 10, okay. This will also work fine, okay, this will also work fine. And the reason is this is called raw type, okay. This is done to support your legacy code, because Java earlier didn't used to support generics, okay. So when it introduced generic, so that the older code also work with this, that's why they introduced this raw types. Raw types basically means is that you don't need to specify the wildcard like this, okay. You don't need to specify the generic type like this, okay. You can directly use it like any other object instantiation. But the problem here is, let's say I want to get the object back, okay. For example, I am saying integer I equals to gen2 dot get ob, okay. Get ob, what our get ob method will do is that it will return the object, okay. But here you see a error is thrown, and the reason behind this is because we made it a raw type, so the generic is not declared, okay. So what we need to do, we need to use casting. In that case simply we'll write integer, okay, because we are getting the object back and we are expecting integer only, so we are doing the casting, and you see immediately the error is gone. So Java also supports raw type, but keep in mind whenever raw type is used and you want to retrieve the object back, you need to use the argument, sorry, you need to use the casting, okay. So that is how your raw type is also supported in Java. But of course when you are writing a new code, then do make sure that you define the generic at the beginning only, like this, okay. So I hope you understood what is generic, how you can bound a generic, and how you can use generic as argument, and also how Java supports the legacy types as well. So as I said before, there are many more topics in generic, but I'm not going to make any more lesson on generic. I'm directly going to start our collection framework. So if you feel that you are finding difficulty with learning any other topic in generic, then do comment down below and I will surely try to clear your doubts or make further video in case it's more complicated, you feel it's more complicated. Okay, and don't forget to like and share this video with whoever is interested in learning about Java, and also don't forget to subscribe to our channel so that you get notified about the next lesson. Thank you.